Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Ever wonder what secrets are buried in those giant financial reports? Today, we're cracking open Customers Bancorp's latest report, and let me tell you, it's not exactly a page turner, unless you're into dissecting bank finances. We'll be looking at everything from earnings to debts. We'll dive into some interesting figures, so buckle up. But before we get started, if you enjoy getting straight insights from SEC reports, be sure to subscribe to Corporate Decoder. We also have a Discord community linked in the description if you want to talk about it with other people. Customers Bancorp is traded on the New York Stock Exchange with the ticker symbol QB. It's a bank holding company, meaning it owns and controls other banks. Its main business is banking, which it does through its subsidiary Customers Bank. Time to get to the meat of the report, the actual numbers. Let's quickly go the Customers Bancorp's balance sheet as of March 31st. First up, cash and cash equivalents are sitting at around $3.4 billion. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's down a bit from $3.8 billion of the previous year. They have about $2 billion in investment securities, which is slightly higher than at the end of last year. Now, the big one, loans and leases receivable, which are the loans they expect to collect, that's at $13.6 billion before you take out the expected losses. Speaking of losses, they've set aside $141 million for those known as the allowance for credit losses. Looking at what they owe, total deposits are around $18.90 billion, similar to where they were at the end of the previous year. Finally, total shareholders' equity, the value of the company if you sold everything and paid off all debt, stands at $1.9 billion. Let's take a look at the income statement, which will give us more insights on how well they did. The bank brought in about $231 million in interest income from loans and leases, while investment securities added another $34 million. But they also had to pay out $131 million in interest on deposits. That number is important, and it affects their net interest income and net interest margin. Net interest income, what the bank makes on their lending, is at $167 million. However, they had to set aside $28 million for potential bad loans, called provision for credit losses. Outside of lending, the bank has some other sources of income, but impairment loss on investment securities actually made non-interest income negative, so on $24,490. Operating expenses are the salaries and benefits they have to pay, as well as other expenses. All of that totaled $102 million. At the end, they came out with a net income of $12.9 million. That means earnings per share, or EPS, was 30 cents per share. Here's what's interesting. Looking at the statements of comprehensive income, you see big swings in unrealized gains or losses on available for sale debt securities. Customers made about $13 million, but it had a negative impact on other comprehensive income and OCI. The changes in shareholders' equity is relatively mundane. Looking at the cash flow statement section, the cash flow used for investing activities is significant, offset by cash flow from financing activities. Customers Bank offers services to businesses and residents mainly in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, California, and Nevada. They also operate nationwide for certain loan and deposit products. So what's new in accounting rules? The company adopted some new rules on crypto assets and obligations, but those didn't really change anything for them financially. They're still figuring out how some upcoming changes to income tax rules will affect their reports in the future. Earnings per share were 30 cents, a big drop compared to last year. This suggests the company wasn't as profitable in the first 3 months of 2025 as they were last year during the same period. Customers had a massive OCI swing, which is going to negatively impact their equity. Customers has some investment securities with losses, but they don't think they'll have to sell them at a loss, so they're holding on to them. Loans held for sale totaled $37 million as of the end of March. The number of loans sold is also down. The bank made fewer loans available for sale and is selling less too. They had about $13.6 billion in loans and leases. Most of those are commercial loans, not consumer loans. They also have a $141 1-year challenge for credit losses, or ACL. What happens when borrowers are having a hard time? This section is about what Customers does when people can't pay their loans. They might lower interest rates, forgive some of the loan, or give them more time to pay. It's something all banks do to help people, hoping they can still collect most of the money. Customers report follows standard accounting practices, but keep an eye on how they estimate credit losses and the fair value of assets. Those are big judgment calls that can swing their numbers. So what's the story? Customers Bancorp is trying to navigate a tricky economic landscape. It operates in a highly competitive market with a large amount of risk factors. Let's assess what this all means. The Customers Bancorp seems to be shifting. They increased their assets, but they also reduced cash and increased their allowance for loan losses, which isn't good. They are still dealing with high interest rates and uncertain economic conditions, which are affecting their profits. They've also seen a big swing in unrealized losses on some of their investments, which can be a bit unpredictable. The good news is their loan portfolio is growing and being managed well, despite challenges in the market. It might be a good time to enter QB or maybe not. It depends on many factors. Please do your own diligence and seek professional advice. What do you think? How do you see Customers Bancorp navigating the next few quarters? Are there any specific numbers that caught your eye? Oh, drop a comment below and let's discuss today. If you found this helpful, please hit a like button and subscribe for more straightforward takes on corporate filings. Also, check out the Discord channel link in the description for more chats about the stock market. Thanks for decoding with me, and I will see you in the next one.